Hi, this is Steve with Mid-Oregon Armory. I'm doing a response video, actually my first ever, to a guy on the internet named Fatboy. Had some questions about some of the reload styles that Magpul teaches. They're also taught at Costa Ludus in carbine manipulation. Had some concerns about how he was taught, and he feels that that is the right way and these other ways are the wrong way. So don't take offense to this. I'm going to tear apart your video step by step, and I'm going to explain to you the other side. So, like I said, don't take offense. I don't mean anything negative by it. I might come off a little edgy because I've been working for about 18 hours today, and I just am really tired. And I watched your video for the umpteenth thousandth time, and just finally decided, you know what? He thinks I'm a guy that just sits and plays Call of Duty and doesn't know anything. So here's my response. I'm not even waiting to get a camera. I'm doing this with my iPad. Okay, so the first part of your video, you don't understand the flailing. Okay, well, we'll get to that. First things first, firearm is empty. Playing with a loaded firearm in town or in a building, for that matter, is a real bad idea, especially for me. I'm in the center of town. If there was a negligent discharge in pretty much any direction, it's going to zip right through sheetrock and smoke somebody walking down the street. It's just generally not a good idea to practice with loaded ammo. There's a couple training implements that you can use. Snap caps. Brownells sells a full weight loaded shell with no powder or primer that's a full metal snap cap that you can use. Another company called Next Level Training offers an AR-15 bolt that actually resets that you can use, which is also very cool. I don't work for them, so I'm not going to advertise for them anymore, but if you want to check that out, go look at nextleveltraining.com. So anyway, okay, first things first, all the flailing. I don't know where you're from. It almost sounds like you're from California, but all this flailing and duck hunting reload and all that stuff, and it'll get you kicked off a range. Okay, first of all, if you're coming from here and you're flailing around here like an idiot, yeah, I could see that. But if you're shooting down range on a lane and you do this, your barrel has never left the safe zone. It has stayed pointed in the direction that is downrange and safe. So that's really not a concern. That's valid. Second, how you were taught. And I agree. Back in the day of early Army doctrine, this is exactly how it went. You were pop, 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 stay on target. You're dry, drop a mag, come up, put a new one in, hit your bolt. But I'm going to touch on two things right there. Whereas you do see that my gun has a bad lever on it, and I do utilize it, relying on a bad lever is a bad idea. You're relying on a second piece of equipment on your gun that was not designed to be on the gun. It's just an add-on, and you're relying on that to put your bolt to battery. Do most people rely on it? Well, of course, that's why they put it on the gun. But at the end of the day, the way this gun was made to be used was slap the bolt shut or hit it with your thumb as you seat the mag. Now, you'll never see me do that. I hardly ever hit that button because all my guns have a bad lever on them. However, I do know that if I have to fight, get rid of my gun because something happens to it and I pick up another carbine somewhere else, I practice enough to where I'm not depending on this. I will know that I am not carrying my firearm, and I will engage like this. That's just the difference in manipulating weapons a lot. I mean, I own a gun store. I have the opportunity to play with guns all day long. Not everybody has that opportunity. Now, your focal reloading. Okay. You're going to stay on target after you've run dry. Why are you keeping a dry gun on a target? There's no point. And if you're keeping a dry gun up on target, and there's a secondary and a tertiary target that you're reloading for, you're going to get yourself killed anyway, because if you've got bam, 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 one target down, I have run dry, you're not going to reload if there's two other targets. You're going to drop your carbine, transition to a handgun, engage, move to cover, and reload your primary weapon. If you don't do that, you're going to become dead. Dead is a pretty harsh symptom. Very few people come back from dead. It's pretty permanent. With that said, I'm going to show you exactly why, because you said in your video these exact words. For a millisecond, look at the magwell. I don't know about you. I'm not an overly skinny guy, I'm not an overly big guy, but in a half a second, I can move pretty far, especially if I'm being shot at. You would not believe the amount of rocket boost you get in your boots when you're in danger. So with that said, pop, 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 you're keeping your gun on target, you're dropping your magazine, making sure that you're looking at the well for a second. Where'd your target go? It's over here now, because you were focused and you were tunneling your vision. Why would you do that? I'll explain the other half to you. When your gun ceases to function, two things have happened. Your gun's malfunctioned or it's gone dry. If your gun is malfunctioned, you're going to transition to your pistol. If your gun's gone dry and you're still in combat, you're going to transition to your pistol. If your gun's gone dry and you have verified that it's gone dry and there are no other threats, you're going to go into a reload. Now, there may not be any immediate threats, but there might be threats on the immediate horizon. That means you have time to do a speedy reload and go. If there's a lull in combat, you will do what is called an administrative reload. And that is just refreshing your magazine. Now, if, I'm going to do it slow, if you go dry, bam, 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 I am dry. Assess the chamber. I see that my chamber is empty and the bolt is locked back. That means I am obviously out of ammo. Press your mag button, flip it out, put your new mag in. Once you have flipped it, your mag is in the exact position to go from here to here. Drop your bolt, and you're back on target. What did you do in that? While you were checking your chamber and bringing the gun up, you are maintaining battlefield awareness. You have your gun in your workspace so you can clearly see here, but you can also see everything around you. If you're tunneling yourself, you can't. You have to look over the top of your gun, or you have to swing your gun, which is pivoting your hips because you're not moving your feet. Now, granted, you see a lot of over-exaggerated reloads. You don't need to do that stuff, but the point is don't question what you don't fully understand and then get attitude about it. Question it, sure. Question everything. Is this going to work for me? Is this faster for me? Does this do anything extra from what I already do? Is there something that I'm missing? Can I use this with what I already know? The art of the carbine is ever evolving. What I learned in the Army is way different than what I know now. Way different. Back then, you gripped your mag well like this, and you stripped your magazine out of your gun. And if you didn't strip your magazine out of your gun, you know, likely it wouldn't come out because the guns were so crappy, dirty, and full of crap. Which brings me to another point. If you're in a training environment, a competition environment, or a battle environment, likely there is sand, dirt, debris, mud, water, blood and guts, whatever. So, your magazine might not drop free. What happens if your magazine doesn't drop free? What happens if you have done your classic I am staying on target, I have grabbed a new mag, uh-oh, my mag doesn't drop free. Now you have to throw this mag down, strip this mag out, and go for a third mag, which means you've wasted ammunition, you've wasted time, and you've almost gotten yourself killed, if not gotten yourself killed, or you have put seconds on your time, which could cost you a competition. Now, if you do the flail, as you call it, you have checked your chamber, flip the magazine out of it, go into another one, bam, you have added force. You have thrown the magazine out of the gun. That helps, because now you don't have to strip your mag out of your gun. Some people do it out of a habit. I used to do it out of habit, but the more I've shot, and the more I've shot, and the more I've shot, I don't hardly ever touch the mag anymore, except for when I'm reloading. You can hold the mag like this to reload. You can hold the mag beer can grip to reload, which is what I do. There's a million different ways to do it. These are all just my thoughts, but they are valid ways of doing things. Now, you learned a certain way. That's great. You learned a certain way. Your dad taught you, an Army instructor taught you, a Navy instructor taught you, a Coast Guard guy taught you, a gun nut taught you. Somebody taught you that. Great. I'm not discounting what they taught you. But what I am saying is that things evolve. Things change. If things didn't evolve, we wouldn't be standing here with battle rifles right now wearing clothes. I'd still be wearing a cheetah skin and be somewhere in Africa trying to make a fire out of sticks. Don't know about you, but I enjoy having a lighter. This is why you never, ever, ever, ever get attitude about methodology. The day you stop learning is the day you go in the dirt. If you can't admit that, you're never going to go anywhere in life. And that's the difference between a professional operator and an amateur shooter. A guy that pulls the trigger all the time and a guy that pulls the trigger sometime. Somebody that really does it and somebody that plays on Call of Duty. The fact of the matter is everything changes as things change. If you don't open your mind to it, you're going to stay stagnant. Everybody around you is going to go forward, and you're going to be standing there going, "Oh, I just don't get it." Well, that's fine. Don't get it. Stand back there at the bus stop while we're all up having fun and getting it. These are all things that you need to put into your brain. Learning is an evolution of style. You hear me say that a lot. You hear me use the word evolution a lot. That's just the fact of the matter. If you don't learn and you don't evolve, you're not going to go anywhere. A professional trains until he gets it wrong. An amateur trains until he gets it right. Great, that's cool. You know, a lot of these guys watched a Magpul video and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced until they got it right. Me, I sit here with an empty gun and practice 20 minutes a day just until I fail. And I usually practice until I'm missing my mag well. I'm going to show you a full speed reload to show you that I actually do know how to do it and show you why it actually saves you time. I'll explain to you why it saves you time first. So, what you're going to do is you're bam, 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 I have gone dry. I'm going to check my chamber. Oh, I see my chamber is empty. I need to reload. I'm going to go up here, go to a new gun. Bam. All right. Now, it looks like extra steps, but you save time. You save time because you have assessed that your weapon has run dry of ammunition and it needs a new magazine. Pretty simple. You didn't go, bam, 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 it has stopped working. My gun's still not working. Why is my gun not working? Oh, I better rack it a bunch. Or I better hit the forward assist. If you just look and go, I'm locked back, oh, time to change my magazine, you're going to actually save time because that extra step, going that extra mile, actually ensured that you were doing something properly and making sure that your gun functions correctly. Last I checked, these things don't have a speaker on them that says, "I am empty." As much as Judge Dredd was a cool movie, your gun doesn't talk to you. It doesn't have programmable ammunition, and it sure as hell isn't going to let you know that it's broken. So, I am rusty. I admit that. Had a long day. Very tired. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to go ahead and do a full speed reload. Bam, bam, bam. Back on target. That was a quarter of a second. I maintained situational awareness. I reloaded, got back on station, and fired accurately. That's the way I do it. Take it or leave it.